Welcome back to UK Boating. Now I'm here at Saltons Marina, which is based in the second largest natural harbour in the world, Poole Harbour. I'm really looking forward to going and visiting this marina because it's sea-based and something I haven't visited before.
Saltons Marina is located in Poole Harbour. As most people know, Poole Harbour is the second largest harbour in the world, but I think most people would promote it that it's the best harbour in the world. So Saltons Marina is based right in the prime position within Poole Harbour. We're one of the closest access marina facilities to the harbour entrance, and that gives us no tidal restrictions at all, straight out onto the open water. Yeah, being located within Poole Harbour, Sandbanks, we're adjacent, right next to Sandbanks. Sandbanks is now world famous for its property, having fantastic views. So being moored and berthed at Saltons Marina, not only do you have all the full facilities of being moored and all the facilities on site, but combined with a multi-million-pound view that you would have to spend up to £10 million on a property. Saltons prides itself on its full facilities that it has and manages on site. Starting with the brokerage, if you're looking to getting into boats, whether you wanted to buy a new boat, and we have dealerships for the Green Line hybrid products, Goldfish, ribs and crunchy boats. Also with the brokerage, so if you're looking for a second-hand boat, we can help you through the buying and selling of a brokerage boat.
We've actually been one of Saltons' longest serving tenants for nearly 20 years now, and we've operated our sales and brokerage operation out of here for what is a great location for us. For us, we're based locally ourselves, so obviously it suits us. Secondly, the location is probably one of the best, if not the best, in the whole of the south coast of England. Very well situated in Poole Harbour, nice and close to the harbour entrance, so particularly for us, things like getting out for sea trials and what have you, nice and easy to get out to the open sea and and give people runs out on boats, which is what we're here for. So.
Saltons Marina has 285 permanent moorings within the marina itself. That's ranging from boats from 6 metres up to 22 metres. Outside of the marina, we have fully serviced swinging moorings. So if you had a boat outside the marina, our prices are very, very competitive for our swing moorings, considering the facilities that we offer with regard to the free launch service, bringing the boat within the marina to load equipment, water, etc. You can come in as a visitor overnight, so overnight moorings, up to our permanent moorings, which are on an annual basis, a 12-month basis.
Some of the facilities that we find the most helpful to us are obviously the berths, because we need to make sure people can get on board the boats to see our craft for sale, and particularly for us the boatyard as well is a very useful facility for us to be able to get our boats in from outside the country, to be able to commission them, launch them, all that type of work, and they've got a great boatyard facility here, so we're very lucky to be able to use that.
The Saltons Group, we own and manage the boatyard facility. We have full facilities there for lifting out from the smallest boat up to 22 metres in length, 45 tonnes in weight. We have access, because of the facilities and the staff that we have here, we can offer a 24-hour fuelling facility for petrol, diesel and gas. The chandlery is opened 7 days a week and has a full range of products that you would expect from a chandlery, whether it's ice creams, tins of paint, clothing, etc. Saltons, we have a hotel on site as well, which incorporates 20 bedrooms. There's conference rooms and facilities there. There's a public bar. There's 2 private function rooms, both overlooking the fantastic views of Poole Harbour. Any business has to change, and personal watercraft, well, they're not everybody's cup of tea. Jet skis, more publicly known as. We have a jet ski dealership on site, so not only can we sell, service and repair your jet ski, but also we have the Versa docks that keep the jet ski out of the water.
Well, there's improvements that can be made to every marina. There's no one marina in the whole of the country that you couldn't make improvements to. I think if I was to pinpoint one, it would probably be lack of car parking on a sunny day in August, for example. But I think a lot of marinas can probably say the same thing about that. But in general, everything's very tidy. Toilets are always very clean, that type of thing. So all those facilities that everybody looks for are here, and they're always nicely presented.
Security at Saltons, we are very privileged in the area that we're in. We only have one small road in and out of the site, which is a private access. That's monitored, and the site is monitored by CCTV cameras. Additionally to that, we have our own staff and we have 24-hour security. So security is very good on site.
Poole is, in my opinion, one of the best places to go boating in the whole of the country, because you've got the beauties of the harbour. So even when the weather's bad, you've always got somewhere to go in the harbour, to anchor, to moor, and get out the wind and get out the nasty weather. Then of course on a nice day you've got Poole Bay round to Studland, great anchorage, and then of course you're only an hour away from the Solent from Poole, so it's a great central location, and there's a bit of boating for everybody to do in Poole, without a doubt.
We are very, very fortunate that live and work and enjoy a great business. We're located in one of the best locations in the world. People come to our site to have their holidays and their family time here. So Saltons is a great experience.
So, if you're taking in the sights of the south coast or fancy seeing Europe's largest natural harbour, why not stop at Saltons Marina? You'll find all the information you need on their website.
Well, it's been a great experience visiting Saltons Marina. It's absolutely huge with a wide variety of boats and some fantastic facilities. Now we're going over to the River Frome, where earlier today I met with Ali Maxwell from the Environment Agency to find out more about their rehabilitation plan. Ali, thank you so much for joining us on this rather wet day.
No problem.
Hopefully you can help us to learn a little bit more about the River Frome. Perhaps we can start by learning where it runs from and to.
Sure, the Dorset Frome starts in the West Dorset Hills at Evershot. It flows eastwards towards Dorchester, down towards Wareham, and enters Poole Harbour. And it's roughly about 55 miles from the source to the estuary.
So tell us a little bit about the history of the river and what it's been used for.
Well, the Frome's been quite intensively managed over the years. In the past there was a lot of watermilling activities, water meadows as well in the 18th and 19th centuries. And then more recently there was an awful lot of land drainage within the valley to improve food production after the Second World War. And a lot of that involved dredging the river, straightening and embanking the river as well, and really taking out a lot of the in-channel habitats as woody debris and gravels. And so by the 60s, 70s, the river had come to quite a poor condition really. And then in the 1990s, Natural England designated the lower half of the river between Dorchester and Wareham a site of special scientific interest, principally as the most westerly example of a chalk river in England. And that includes species such as trout, brown trout and Atlantic salmon, and various other plant communities within the channel that are quite specific and rare within Britain really.
So what has all this past work meant in terms of the river condition as it is now?
Well, because of all the past works, the river is probably over deep and over wide in places. There's little in-channel gravels for spawning habitats, and there's probably several structures on the river that are causing impoundment problems or problems for fish passage. And so because of these reasons, the Natural England designated it unfavourable condition, which required a number of projects to improve the condition. And one of these projects was to look at the restoration of the river, and then the Environment Agency created the River Frome Rehabilitation Plan.
So what have you had to do and what have you had to look at to put the plan together?
Well, there was a walkover survey of the whole river, looking at all the features that are in current good condition, but also those in bad as discussed before. And then the river was broken up into reaches, and kind of outline proposals for each reach were highlighted. We then take this plan to various landowners, to fishing clubs and tenant farmers to discuss kind of what we think needs to be done to the river, and maybe bringing on some of their thoughts, making use of their history and their knowledge of the local area. And this year was the first year of actually implementing works on the ground. We carried out a piece of work in partnership with the Dorchester Fishing Club. It's the first piece of the project, but we are hoping for numerous projects each summer for the next 5 or 6 years.
So can you take us through in a little bit more detail what some of those projects are?
We are hoping to return gravels to the river at various locations that will recreate the spawning habitats for the salmon and for the trout especially. We're also looking at regrading banks to allow more connection with the floodplain, to allow a more naturally functioning river and floodplain kind of system. We're also introducing more woody debris. In the past a lot of this was removed, but actually provides good in-channel habitat and features for species. Also improves the flow of variety within the channel, allowing deposition and erosion to occur. So ultimately we're trying to not necessarily get to a more natural state, but allow the river to function in a more naturally functioning way.
So Ali, who's helping you with all of this work and who are the partnerships that you've joined with?
The plan was put together by Environment Agency and Natural England as a kind of initial partnership. Then working on relationships that we've developed with previous projects, working with the Froome, the Piddle and West Dorset Fishery Association, who kind of oversee all the river clubs, all the fishing clubs on the river, and then more specifically with specific clubs such as the Dorchester Fishing Club and others along the river, but also working with the estates, landlords and tenant farmers. Without them, no works would progress really, because we need permissions to get access to land.
So how long will each of these projects take and how long will the overall plan take?
We have earmarked another 5 or 6 years for the plan to be delivered, so we're hoping by 2016 that summer will be the hopefully majority of the work, if not the final piece. The works generally take about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks on the ground, but there's an awful lot of planning behind that, usually spanning a couple of months, if not 6 to 12 months, depending on the complexity of the works and the types of people involved, and trying to get permissions from both within the Environment Agency but also landowner permissions, and just trying to bring people on board as well.
Ali, thank you so much for joining us today. I've learnt all sorts, especially about debris being important in the river, so that's fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's competition time and we've got another amazing prize for you. Towergate Marden is offering one lucky viewer a chance to win a year's free insurance for their boat. There are some terms and conditions, so please take note of these when you enter. To be in with the chance of winning 1 year's free insurance, all you have to do is enter online at uk-boating.tv. Entries must be received by midnight on Sunday the 20th of November. The lucky winner will be notified by email soon after.
Well, that's it for another episode of UK Boating. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and if you'd like to see any of our previous episodes, pop onto our website. Until next time, cheerio!